My brother mocked me in front of his wedding party. She's the loser of the family, works in a grocery store. Their laughter echoed. I calmly walked out. Then the best man caught up, asking quietly, "Ms. Anderson, should I escort you to the jet now?" I zip up the dress, catching my reflection in the mirror. I look like I'm auditioning for a role as a diseased fruit. "Got it, Mom," I say, biting back a sigh. "I'll keep it classy." What Mom doesn't know, what nobody in my family seems to get, is that I'm not just Emma, the screw-up sister who works at a grocery store. I'm Emma Anderson, the founder and CEO of Anderson Global Logistics, a $4.2 billion supply chain empire that moves 30% of the Fortune 500's goods across 47 countries. We're talking Walmart, Target, Kroger, you name it. We get their stuff from farm to shelf. I employ 85,000 people, revolutionized cold chain logistics for pharmaceuticals. And in 3 days, I'm closing the biggest merger in my industry's history. But to my family, I'm still the kid who stocks shelves at Safeway. It's Marcus's big day, my little brother, the golden child, marrying Patricia, whose family is like a walking Forbes list. Her dad built a construction empire, her mom's a federal judge, and her brother just sold his tech startup for $50 million. They're the kind of people who make you feel like you need to apologize for existing unless your LinkedIn profile sparkles. And me? I'm the family situation. That's what they call it now. Not my career, not my work, my situation, like I'm one bad day away from a GoFundMe. It all started 7 years ago. I was building my first distribution center, grinding day and night to get Anderson Global off the ground. To understand the food retail game from the inside out, I took a night shift at Safeway. I scanned barcodes, stocked shelves, watched how products moved from suppliers to customers. Most CEOs read reports. I wanted to feel the pulse of the industry with my own hands. When family asked what I did, I'd say food retail or supply chain logistics. Simple, right? But somehow that got twisted into Emma works at a grocery store. And once that story took root, it was like trying to argue with gravity. I tried correcting them at first. I'd mention hiring my first 100 employees, and Aunt Susan would nod like I was managing the deli counter. "That's great, honey," Uncle Richard once said, patting my shoulder. "Ambitious for a grocery store job." After a while, I stopped fighting it. Part of me was curious, how long could they keep this up? Turns out, forever. The rehearsal dinner last night was a gut punch. I'm sipping a cocktail trying to blend in when Patricia's brother Jason asks, "So, Emma, Marcus says you're in food service. Thinking of opening a restaurant?" Before I can answer, Marcus jumps in. "Oh no, Emma's not the entrepreneur type. She works at a grocery store. Honest work, though." The room goes quiet just for a second, and I see Patricia's parents exchange a look. You know, the one, the "how did this happen" in a family of overachievers? Look, I smile tightly and say, "Food retail's complex. The logistics are wild." Patricia's dad nods politely and changes the subject to Marcus's law practice. Later, I overhear my mom at the bar with Patricia's mom, Judge Whitfield. "Emma's great with kids," Mom's saying, "but she's not exactly a financial role model." I feel my stomach twist. Financial role model? I could buy the Fairmont we're standing in and turn it into a distribution hub by Monday. But to them, I'm the family charity case. The wedding morning's no better. I'm in hair and makeup with the other bridesmaids, Patricia's sister, a pediatric surgeon, her friend, a consulting firm partner, another launching her second startup. They're swapping stories about their Hamptons vacations and European getaways. When they ask about me, Patricia chimes in, "Emma works in grocery. She's been at it for years." The surgeon nods all fake kindness. "Stable work," she says. I bite my tongue. Stable? Anderson Global's got exclusive contracts with every major retailer in North America. Stable doesn't even begin to cover it. The ceremony's beautiful, don't get me wrong. Patricia's glowing in her grandmother's lace dress, Marcus is beaming. And for a minute, I try to focus on their happiness. But then I hear Aunt Susan whisper behind me, "Poor Emma, that dress color's so unflattering." Someone else murmurs, "It's the stress. Financial pressure ages you." I grip the bridal bouquet tighter, forcing a smile. Financial pressure? My net worth's $2.3 billion according to Forbes. I'm 47th on their list of richest self-made women. But sure, tell me more about my stress. At the reception in the Fairmont's Grand Ballroom, a place I almost bought 2 years ago for my real estate portfolio, the toasts are a masterclass in subtle shade. Marcus raises his glass. To Patricia's family, Judge Whitfield, who's dedicated her life to justice. Jason, who sold his company for millions. Mr. Whitfield, who built an empire from nothing. He turns to our side. To Uncle Richard, partner at his accounting firm. Cousin Derek with his second dental practice. Dr. Sarah, saving lives. Then his eyes land on me, and to family members who support us in their own special ways. My sister Emma, who flew from Seattle despite the expense. She works in food service, honest, necessary work. We love her for it. The applause is polite, but it stings like pity. People look at me like I'm a wounded puppy. I'm about to slip out for air when the real kicker comes. On the terrace, I overhear Patricia's mom talking to Marcus. "Is Emma financially stable?" she asks, voice low but sharp. Patricia mentioned her as a potential godmother, but given her circumstances. Marcus laughs. Emma's sweet, but she can barely take care of herself. Same grocery store job for 7 years. No ambition. I freeze. No ambition. I've built a company that employs thousands, moved industries forward, and created systems that get food to millions. But Marcus keeps going. She's basically the family charity case. Mom sends her rent money sometimes. We chip in for her car, that's a lie. I've never taken a dime from them. My old car? A 15-year-old Honda I keep because it's reliable, and I don't need to flash wealth to feel good about myself. But the lies don't stop. I hear my cousin Derek on the terrace telling Patricia's relatives Emma's car is so old, the valet could barely start it. Marcus says she's on food stamps. He pauses, then adds, "Mom thinks she might have an undiagnosed learning disability. How else do you explain staying in an entry-level job for 7 years?" My chest tightens. A learning disability? Food stamps? I'm done. I text David, my head of security. "Ready for pickup." His reply is instant. ETA, 10 minutes. Helicopter fueled. I'm about to slip out quietly when Marcus taps his glass for another toast. This one's the final straw. "Ladies and gentlemen," he starts. Patricia and I are surrounded by the best entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, executives who've pushed boundaries and refused to settle. His eyes find mine, and there's pity in them. But we're also grateful for family members who contribute in simpler ways. My sister Emma, who works in food service. Not everyone can be a CEO, and that's okay. She's content, and that's admirable. The room raises their glasses like I'm some inspirational underdog. Patricia's dad, a little tipsy, calls out, "To Emma for showing us happiness doesn't require success." I feel like I'm in a bad movie, the kind where the humble character gets patronized while everyone else shines. Then my phone buzzes. "Miss Anderson." A deep voice cuts through the noise. "It's David Martinez, my head of security, all 6'2" of former Secret Service intensity in a tailored black suit. Conversations stop. "I apologize for the interruption," he says loud enough for nearby tables to hear. "But we have an urgent situation. The helicopter's waiting on the roof. Your 9 p.m. call with the Singapore team can't be delayed. The Chin Industries merger closes Monday, and the Tokyo markets open in 3 hours. The board needs your final approval on the $1.8 billion acquisition." Marcus's champagne glass hits the floor, shattering. The room goes dead silent.
"Emma, what the hell?"
he stammers, grabbing my arm. David steps closer, calm but firm. "Sir, I'll need you to step back from Miss Anderson." Patricia's voice is a whisper. "Miss Anderson?" I stand smoothing that awful dress. I guess I should explain I say my voice steady but loud enough for everyone to hear. I'm Emma Anderson, founder and CEO of Anderson Global Logistics. We're the largest privately held supply chain company in North America, with $4.2 billion in revenue and operations in 47 countries. We handle distribution for 30% of the Fortune 500 Walmart. Target, you name it. That grocery store job Marcus mentioned? I worked nights at Safeway for 3 years while building my first distribution center. I wanted to learn the industry from the ground up, not from some consultant's PowerPoint. The room's frozen. Derek's face is white. Patricia's mom looks like she's seen a ghost. We revolutionized cold chain logistics, I continue. Developed algorithms for Amazon's grocery division, created inventory systems for major retailers. Forbes ranks me 47th among self-made women. But I'm prouder that we employ 85,000 people and have been carbon neutral for 3 years. Patricia finds her voice. Marcus, you said she worked at a grocery store. She told me she worked in food retail. Marcus sputters. Food retail logistics? I correct gently. I oversee supply chains for every major grocery chain in North America. When I said I was in food retail, I meant I was changing how food gets to your table. Uncle Richard's staring at his bourbon like it's a crystal ball. Aunt Susan mutters, If you're so wealthy, why the old car? Why dress so normal? Because money isn't everything I say. I thought family was. I thought showing up for the people you love mattered more than flashing a Rolex. But you all built this story about me struggling limited charity case without ever asking what I actually do. David checks his watch. Miss Anderson, the Singapore call. The merger's 18,000 jobs are on the line. Right, I say, turning to Marcus and Patricia. Congrats again. It was a beautiful wedding. I wish you both the best. Marcus grabs my arm again, then lets go when David shifts. Emma, why didn't you tell us? Tell you what? That I'm successful? Would it have mattered? You seemed pretty happy with your version of me, the sister who lacks ambition. The one you all pitied. I look at Derek. 20 minutes ago, you were on the terrace speculating about my food stamps and learning disabilities. Patricia's dad blinks. You run a billion-dollar company? She's on the Forbes list, a cousin calls out, holding up her phone. Emma Anderson, net worth $2.3 billion. The room erupts in murmurs. I turn to David. Let's go. As we head to the elevator, the crowd parts like I'm Moses at the Red Sea. On the roof, the helicopter's rotors are spinning. David helps me in and I buckle up, slipping on the headset. How was the wedding, ma'am? He asks over the noise. Educational, I say, managing a smile. As we lift off, I see people on the terraces below gawking at the chopper. My phone's blowing up. Marcus, Derek, Aunt Susan, random numbers. I turn it off. The city lights stretch out beneath us, and for the first time in years, I feel free. I spent so long trying to be humble, I forgot there's a difference between humility and letting people erase you. Tomorrow I'll be back to running a global company making decisions that affect thousands of lives. But tonight I'm done hiding who I am to make others comfortable. Singapore, ma'am? The pilot asks. Quick stop at the office first, I say. This dress has got to go. And David? You were right about the mustard yellow? He grins. Told you, ma'am. As Seattle's skyline glows ahead, I realize something. Anderson Global didn't change the world by staying quiet. Maybe it's time my family and the world sees the real Emma Anderson. Not the grocery store girl, but the woman who built an empire one barcode at a time.